Hey everyone, appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Wolves Den. Today, want to go over just some things that are currently going on in the world. This is going to be sort of off script. Usually, I have a little couple bullet points to go off of, some things I jot down, but this is just some stuff that I've been feeling, some things that I've just been experiencing in the world nowadays. I gather it's hard for a lot of people to not recognize or not realize that there's been a big shift in the past couple months, couple years, or excuse me, couple months, couple weeks. Definitely something has been changing, and it really comes down to economic circumstances that are currently being brought up in America and over the world. I mean, not to get too political in this by any means, but I just know what we are experiencing as a company in New Jersey, in Morrison, Hunterdon County, that there's been a shift. Obviously, this time of year, right after Father's Day, from now up until about July or after July 4th, even close to Labor Day, there is definitely a tick down in the market of just landscaping services in general. But at the same time, it's more than what we used to experience in previous years. So this year, a lot of costs are rising, such as fuel, such as materials, such as logistics, labor. There's so many things. Just the cost of living in itself has began to increase, and then on the flip side, needed to we needed to increase our pricing. I know from the beginning of the year to now, we increased the pricing by 7.7%, just to make up and be able to run a profitable business at the end of the day. So, us as a company, going back to another one of my podcasts, I forget exactly which one, but you need to be able to price jobs accordingly. And with how the market has been going, when I say market, I don't mean stock market, but that it could relate to this. I just mean the market as an industry, as a economy as a whole, has made a shift, and we need to bob and weave throughout these changes in the economy, on a township scale, on a state scale, on a federal scale. These are the shifts that we need to make in order to keep up with where we are. So we had to increase pricing about 7.7%. It's not saying that we're greedy or just trying to get more money. It just comes down to everything else has increased, hence the word inflation that has been being tossed around a lot recently. And yeah, it's directly affecting us. Cost of materials has increased, the cost of living has increased, the cost of shipping has increased, the cost of fuel has increased, the cost of labor has increased because of all these other factors. So that's something that I noticed, a big shift. Usually we sort of lock a budget in and change it as needed, but it's very early to make that shift in changing of pricing, but it's just what's currently happening in the world today. And with landscaping being a luxury service, like I was talking about in another one of the podcasts, it's great at the same time, because if people were to hire you, you know that they have enough disposable income to afford and invest into a luxury service. But also at the same time, these are the type of services that get cut off first because it is a luxury. So if you have to decide between filling up your gas tank and or putting food on the table for your family, landscaping luxury services, not essential services, are going to be the first ones to sort of get cut back. So it's sort of a double whammy right now. Usually this time of year it does happen just to slow down, just because of people going on vacation, kids getting out of school, the weather getting warmer, finally having a break, summer's getting close. So there's definitely a lot of variables. But on top of, naturally, there's a lot of variables for this time of year. But on top of that, there's also the changes of the world that are currently going on, the changes of the economy, and incorporating both of those variables together, we have seen a big shift in the market. So I know that just from us, leads have gone down, leads for landscaping and for hardscaping clients. We are investing more into marketing this year than we have in previous years. And we actually have a marketing team that we are working with for this year. And the past couple of weeks, we've seen a big dip off. We just have to be able to just continue to stick things out, really. You sort of have to have a long term vision. Not you sort of have to. You need to have a long term vision in this, and try to get very lean as a business. By lean, I mean cut costs where you don't need to be spending things. Do you really need to be spending XYZ on things that aren't directly affecting the efficiency, the productivity of the business? No. So these are the type of times where you really got to cut down, get lean and mean, and be able to understand that, you know what, this could be a bumpy road ahead. This could be some things that we never experienced before as a company, never experienced before as an economy, or some stuff that we never experienced as small business owners. So being able to just take it day by day, really, but also have this insight about what's currently going on in the world and have a vision for what we need to do for the future, and just make the shifts accordingly, such as changing pricing, or cutting costs in a business, or targeting a different area with more disposable income, targeting commercial clients, targeting or just continuing to market as a whole. That's another huge thing. I know my business coach, Brad, he was saying that if you completely shut off marketing because you're trying to cut costs back, that's really going to be sucking all of the air out of the company at the end of the day, because marketing is essential and you see all these dollars going out but not as much return, and it is frightening. It is something that is scary, but you just have to understand that there could be companies in the next couple weeks, couple months, the smaller ones that are very restrictive. Those are the companies that may fizzle out potentially, depending on how the world goes and maybe how the economy goes. So if those companies start to fizzle out, where are their clients going to go? And you just have to have the mindset that it's going to get hard, it's going to get difficult, but you started a business, and at the end of the day, you put yourself in this situation, and this is what it comes with the job title. Being a business owner, especially in the landscaping industry, it is ruthless, and it's something that you just need to be like Plato. You just need to mold to the circumstances that are coming up to where we're currently at as a nation. But going back to what I was saying with the smaller companies potentially being fizzled out, since they're trying to cut back so much, and they may not have a large clientele to bring them the income that they need to survive and to continue to be profitable. Those are the companies that where their clients going to go. So continuing your marketing strategies and continuing the marketing channels right now, that could put you ahead in the long run, because there definitely could be those companies that do fizzle out, and where their clients going to go, whether it be in the next couple weeks, where are they going to go, in the next couple months, or the next couple years, where are they going to go? They're definitely going to have to go to another service provider at the end of the day. So between changing pricing to accommodate for where we currently are and currently experiencing as economy, that's huge. Being able to get very lean, that's huge. Being able to continue to market, that is very huge. When people do start to cut back, if you continue to market, that's huge. And just being able to understand that it is going to get difficult. That's a huge thing. Just being able to have that understanding. It's not always going to be, it never is sunshine and rainbows, but at the same time, there's going to be better times, there's going to be worse times. And right now, it just from what I've been experiencing, it feels like we are headed to a dip of a worst time. Not to be negative by any means, but just being realistic about what we've been experiencing. I mean, we just had a client, one of our clients, call us yesterday and say, so we currently are booked out for the rest of the year for hardscaping. Our backlog continues out for the rest of the year of 2022. And we had one of our clients call that we plan on getting to in 2 weeks. And they were saying that they, depending on a lot of variables, again, everyone's situation is different. They may need to hold off their project entirely, because going back to what I was saying before, if they and it's a big job. It's about $130,000 job. That's going to take a couple weeks to finish, start to finish, and it's a lot of money to dish out during some times like this, and not being so concentrated in one type of service that could help you be more maintenance repeatable services, such as maintenance contracts. Those are huge, especially commercial. Commercial always needs it. Again, my business coach Brad, he said that commercial clientele could be recession or could slash is recession proof, because they're constantly going to need service. They have a building, they have an office, they have a facility that they need to maintain and keep high standards for them to keep their employees, keep their clients safe, have them a good presence to the community, and they budget for these things in their costs of doing business. So that's huge as well. And we don't have any commercial clients, so we just got to be able to be malleable at the end of the day, and really to be able to be just going with the flow of things, and really just take every client that does come in, commercial or residential, in our service area or maybe a little bit outside our service area. And pre-qualifying is important, but at the end of the day, having business is also important. So with the leads going down, we're still pre-qualifying, but at the same time, we're not pre-qualifying like we used to. Obviously, we need to be mindful of who our ideal client is. We need to be mindful of where our service location is, and we also need to be mindful of what we need to charge to be in business, to be profitable, to pay overhead, to pay employees a living wage, to pay office staff a living wage, to pay for equipment. The list goes on. We know what we need to charge, but at the same time, having work versus not having work, that's a big difference. And it could come to a time. I was listening to an episode of Keith Kalfas yesterday, and gather some of you guys may know of him. I personally enjoy watching him. He was saying that he was sort of on a day by day with trying to sell jobs. So just say his crew was out there on a Monday, he was trying to sell a job on a Monday for a Tuesday, just to get a backlog up, and just to keep pricing relevant for what he needs to charge at the end of the day. So that's something, and that went on for a couple weeks, couple days, not exactly sure, but he was able to develop a backlog just by sticking with his guns. It got very intimidating and very scary to have a backlog of one day, couple days, compared to a month, couple weeks. It's a big difference because that backlog is a safety net. So just being able to know what you need to charge at the end of the day, and just having a little bit of flexibility, and hopefully it never gets to that for us. But at the same time, you don't know what the world's going to be like. You don't know how things are changing within the next couple weeks, couple months. So really the short of this episode, we are experiencing things that we have never experienced as a business. We weren't around for 08 or 09. So this is our first big dip in the industry, in the economy that we are experiencing. So this could make a lot of companies, this could break a lot of companies. And being able to have that foresight of you know what, things may not be how they used to be, and you may need to do things and work more just to make the same or possibly less, but just to keep your head above water, that could definitely be a reality. But it's the people that give up, the people that fold, the people that get too scared too quick and don't know how to act or don't act at all. Those are the people that aren't going to make it through these times such as we are experiencing right now. And just know that you're not the only one. We are not the only one going through scenarios, going through occurrences such as this. If it was only us experiencing this, then that definitely be a bad situation, and that would definitely be an internal situation that we'd have to handle. But a lot of companies, not saying every company, is experiencing some factors like this, and being able to realize that you're not the only one, being able to realize that there are other people out there that are feeling the exact same way that you are, better or worse. There are still people that are doing whatever they can to put food on the table for their family, to keep their employees employed, and to provide services for the community. It is definitely tough, but we just have to do what we can as business owners, as a community, to stick together, to know that hopefully this is just a blip in the radar and the tide may get rough. With all this being said, I guess we'll just have to play day by day to see what changes are going to be had in the economy, and what changes we need to make internally, on top of the changes that we have already made. And having someone that has been through '08 or '09 with another recession and some other instances, maybe, again, I'm probably too young to realize what has happened previously in the economy before '08 or '09, but being able to just have a conversation with people that have been through those things, that they're they were able to make or start a business or continue a business through those times. Just being able to have those conversations with the people, just to give you some insight, some foresight about what they did, how they did, what they did not do, and what times really were like during that period. That's definitely something that I would recommend, because I've been doing that with Brad, my mentor, as well as my father. He owns an HVAC company over in Eastern Jersey by New York City. Big commercial installation and service. So that's just those two people alone have been some people that I've been just going for some advice, just to see how they've experienced some things before and how they handle certain things before. But just not being afraid to ask questions, not being afraid to just reach out, whether it be to me. Not saying I know all the questions or the answers to the questions, but maybe I do. Maybe I know some things that some people have questions about. Maybe there's some things I don't know what people have questions about. Maybe I can ask my mentor the questions that you may have. So these are the types of things that we can definitely work together on, being together as a community, being able to be together as small business owners, to work together through these times, and know that no one has a definite answer, because every situation is different, but just being able to have that understanding that there's people out there that are there to help you, give you information, give you foresight. That's definitely what I feel that would be best for us as a community. So let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you guys have, if any changes have been going on in your business, and how you've been able to handle these changes without disrupting the workflow. And where you guys see this changing, where you guys see the world being in the next couple months, couple weeks, and how it has or has not affected your industry. So feel free to reach out to me. and just let me know what you guys think and how we could work together to get through this. So appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this. I'll see you next time. Appreciate it.